This is the tour of my 2001 garden. So far this year, it's the end of June. I've changed everything around here. I'm not growing vegetables this year. I tell you the story, been coming in for a while. But I started another project. So I've always grown some seeds in plants, and I have some nasturtium here. And I can't remember what that is. Nasturtium are the round flowers there. And this, I think, is a tulip tree that I pulled out of one of the beds and stuck it in this plant. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And maybe zinnias. And over there is lavender. And that's the project, which I will get to later. That was all vegetables, tomatoes, etc. the last few years. I tarped it down with that DeWitt black plastic because the weeds, I just couldn't stay on top of the weeds. But I've been working on that mostly all this year. I did a little last fall. I put in some that I'll show you. I did do these pots with verbena, and I think those are zinnias growing there. And that is my herb garden, which may stay an herb garden, but may not. I'm not a garden designer, so I'm kind of winging this, folks, and I thought it'd be kind of interesting for people to see. Someone has no clue about what the heck they're doing. Those are cosmos that I put in those pots. And I think those are zinnias. The purple is amaranth. I have a hard time with that one. And it was so hot the day I had seeds, I just was like Johnny Appleseed throwing seeds in, and they've come up. These are sweet peas there, which I don't know if they're going to make it or not. And that's a wild violet. But this is that cardinal vine. You might see the seeds. Botanical Interest does them. And they do grow really cool up this obelisk thing I have here. I think these are sunflowers, and yes, those are weeds. Another shot of the amaranth. And then coming around to the other raised bed, here is something that I probably will regret doing. This guy here is a wisteria. And then I have sunflowers and some dianthus and snapdragons. And then this is lemon balm, folks. If you plant it, put it in a pot. That bad boy is coming out. Not this today, but maybe the end of the year. This is, I think, a Mexican daisy, they call it. It bloomed, it had a bloom on it when I purchased it. Here, you can see it here. Let's see if I get to it. So it's finally coming back. This is that love and a mist stuff. And it is a perennial. And it's really cool. I like it. And you get these little pod dudes. And then they bloom into these pretty flowers, real delicate flowers. See, there's another one. I planted, I think, one of them last year, and they reseeded themselves. And forgive the airplane because, you know, I live under Metro Airport. Yeah, lemon balm, folks. No. My strawberries, I've never done too well with them. So they may come out this year. I think it is their third year. Now, coming back to this plan. Yeah, let's see if I can do this. I'm not using my... This stuff is called Snow in a Mountain. Small little plant. I bought it last year and put it in. And I didn't get any film of it this spring, but beautiful white flowers on it. And these are asters. And that is sage. And we had some rainstorms here in Michigan. You've probably seen it on the news, floods, the whole 9 yards. So it's not looking real great. This is a phlox. This is Russian sage. I've got a couple of them in there. One there, one there, one there, and then you can see one over there. This is another phlox that I just put in. And look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Another phlox. Now that hole is this rose. I have fallen in deep to the rose world. This one is called, let me see if I can, this is the Marc Chagall. Look at that bloom. Let's see if it'll focus. See if I can make it focus. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? It's going in there. And those are 2 dahlias that I just plopped in there. I've never grown dahlias before, so I thought, well, let's give it a shot. And those are dahlias that I bought tubers from Home Depot, which I've had okay luck, not great. I don't think I would do that again. And coming over here, this is sorry for the picture of the dirt, a David Austin Crown Princess Marguerite climbing rose, which I put in this year. I'm starting to get some new growth on it here. And hopefully it'll go up this big trellis, which isn't really established in a traditional way, but I got it in the dirt. That's half the trick, get it in the dirt. These are some more dahlias. I don't even know what color they're going to be. And this is catmint, nepeta. I have 2 of those. There's one over there. And let's come around the back here. This rose here, I have 2 at last roses, and they're beautiful. I'm not past the first bloom, but you can see the kind of, it's like a apricot. I have 2 of them, this one and that one. This is a little rose that I moved from the other garden that'll show you where it was. It was tiny, that wasn't getting enough sun. It had been languishing there for years, so I just moved it over here. I may have to move it again because it's a little guy, and these guys are going to get bigger. One of the things which I didn't take into account is you've got to kind of look at the sizes of your plant, what they're going to be eventually. Yeah. Okay, so this is a peony here. Again, I bought some of those tubers from Home Depot. They come in the plastic bag. I planted 4 of them. 2 of them came up. And this rose, let me get around here. I just planted yesterday. This is an Easy Does It rose from Weeks Roses. It's gorgeous. And behind it, let's see what I have here. Oh, there's another peony. One of the peonies that made it. And that's a clematis. I planted earlier this year. And the other one, it's funny because this one's growing up really well. And this guy just is kind of like hanging out, not doing too much. And there's another hole here that I planted peonies in. Did not happen. Again, I wouldn't buy the Home Depot tubers. Plantains growing great. Not plantain, purslane. Another little peony there. This rose here is the Marc Chagall. My sister bought it for me for my birthday. And that's going in that hole. And here's more of the nepeta. I'm having a hard time with that word. Catmint. Let's see if I can get up close and personal with it. And that's going in there. Yeah. So basically how I in planting these things, as I dig this hole, I have clay. I mean, this is clay. I have amended this for years because I had vegetables in there. And when I dig, boy, I'm digging it in there. What I do is I dig the hole. I put in cow manure. And then, let's see here. That's cow manure. Good stuff. I put in rose tone when I plant the roses. And for the catmint, the nepeta, I'm going to put that in there. The plan is, and someday I'll put weed and feed down, but that isn't going to happen this year, probably. This is my lavender. One's a hid coat, and one's a Munstead. And here's my original At Last rose that I stuck over here the year I bought it. It's not doing great over here, so I hope to move that out. So you can kind of see it from this angle. And no, I didn't put the stones down, like you're supposed to. Because why? I'm old. I don't want to kill myself. So the rest of the garden so far, got my grasses, who do great every year. This is sea oats. Here's another one. I love this plant. I love when it makes it. We've been rained on terribly, but it's a thug. It will grow everywhere. In fact, I don't think that's the original plant. I'll show you the other one. But under here I have caladium growing. This will lift up after we get another drought. And I have coneflowers, echinacea. And there's that one. Isn't that beautiful? And look at that caladium. This is Rebecca, which has been getting this black spot type stuff. There's evil cabbage moth. These are daylilies that I saved from destruction from my neighbor. This plant is an Akiba, and it's just a vine. Kind of a pain in the you-know-what vine. I have another caladium here, and then I planted this still this year, and my sister gave me that plant last year, and we planted it in honor of my matron cat Sparky, who passed away. Now here is a rose that I'm going to eventually move out of here because it, again, doesn't get enough sunlight. This is a rose, I don't remember the name of it, but it's a candy stripe rose. The flower is red and white, but it only grows red and white on that stalk. These stalks here, it's reverted back to what they grafted that one on. So I have to, when I move this, what's this black spot? Crap here. You're gone, dudes. When I move the plant, I'm going to cut it all back and try to plant it down underneath the ground. So maybe I can get the red and white one to bloom again. Glad growing there. Again, this is the original sea oats, and it's a monster. I planted these begonias just the other day. I think they're cool looking. And back there, it's called foam flower. It's a type of heuchera. And that's a peony my mom gave me many years ago. It's in the wrong place. It doesn't get enough sun. It rarely blooms. But I don't think you can move a peony too well. Again, I have grasses here. This is sage. I think this is some sort of lily that's trying to come back. But see here, this is that sea oats junk. Well, I like the plant, but I don't want it everywhere. Some daylilies coming up there my mom gave me years ago. And the bane of my existence, a mulberry. I'm going to have to go after that again. Here's another pink peach rose. That's an absolute beautiful rose when it's blooming. But again, it doesn't get enough sunlight here. And that's dianthus, heuchera. And that's a clematis. It's a jacamani, I think it's purple. And I may eventually move that too, because again, that's not getting enough sunlight. And this is a little pink rose I got, 10 years ago, stuck in here. And it's doing all right, but again, I'm going to move these 3 roses out, probably to those wooden beds. Did create this, excuse the airplane, arch for the wisteria to grow on. May not be strong enough, but I did put in T-bars here, and I have to get some heavy-duty wire to keep that solid. That's where I am so far on my garden project 2021. And yeah, I got to clean up the rest of the yard. But you know what it's like when it's 80 degrees or more. You just don't get around to doing everything you want to do. Well, thank you for watching this video. And I'm going to go plant those roses. And then Nepeta, I'm going in, take another shower, and do other things. Have a great day.